Hello, hello, and welcome to A Life More Boaty. We are down at a rather cloudy and blustery Pentonhook Marine with the lovely people at Val Wyatt Marine to have a look at this beautifully put together Haines 36 OS. Now the OS stands for offshore because they make these either as offshore boats, in other words they can go to sea, or they make them as river boats, so they are ideal for rivers. Very, very customizable, built in Norfolk in the UK. So start as we always do on the old bathing platform. You'll notice there's a swim platform ladder so you can get yourself in and out of the water onto this fixed swim platform, but which does have some rather beautifully and very practically styled cleats down there. Also up there, I love a grab handle, particularly around the back of the boat. If you've ever come in stern to on an open bathing platform on a rough day, it's quite nice to have something to hold on to. As I say, this is completely customizable, so if you don't like these sort of orangey brown cushions, you can change them when it's your boat. I'm going to go on board and show you the little cockpit we have here. Very, very nice, covered with the hardtop overhang, but it does, as you can see, have glass paneling in, and one of these panels, the center one here, has the capacity to open, and then you'll also see up above us we have our closed array Garmin radar. Down below here we have an absolutely vast, and I know I do say that a lot, but it is pretty big, lazarette. So let's have a quick peek at that before we go any further. So one, it opens nicely in its self-balance. There's a lovely little step to get you in, and cleverly that little step is actually hiding the bow thruster. And if I just pop my light on, so there you go, look at that, plenty of room. You've got access down the back there as well, access to the rudder controllers. If I bob out the way here, ooh, bit more storage in there, and you can see fuel tanks on both sides. So pretty decent lazarette, because storage is always a great thing on a boat. You can never have too much storage on a boat. So we drop that back down. You also have storage under both of these seats, under there like that. And then we have this fabulous fully opening patio door. So this door opens in 3 sections, and as you can see, cleverly locks itself away up here with that catch. So that gives you access to this rather splendid interior. You'll also see there's a hinge on this, so this seat effectively here can fold backwards so it becomes part of your cockpit dining area. And you'll also notice there's a lovely little corner seat over there. But with that seat folded forward, you have got a really, really decent, very, very decent entertaining and dining space. So this table here, as you can see, is high-low, drops up and down and folds out. So you can have a full-size dining table, and you can also drop that down if you want to and make that either a sort of a lounging area or a day bed or another berth, depending on what you want. And you'll also see over on the port side there is a little corner L-shaped sofa. Behind us here, there's a sort of little cocktail area, if you like. Chest fridge in there. Storage below for glasses and bits and pieces. And a little drawer. Now this is sort of configurable depending on what you like. So again, you can have different colour carpet, you can have different colour seat fabrics. The sunroofs that we can see in the front of us here are electric and standard, and you can cover those with blinds. And as you can also see here, we've got a great example of the blinds down on that side, the starboard side, and the blinds up on the port side, which shows you both sides have got this really handy opening hatch. And this seat over here, so if I stand up here, get my co-film star from Val Wyatt Marine to show me, this seat will actually fold the other way. So at the moment it's designed for casual seating. Flip it the other way and it can be a seat for navigating or facing forwards. So this is how easy it is to flip that seat into that position, and just as easy to flip it back. I thank my beautiful assistant from Val Wyatt for his help, and we will carry on. Pretty nifty, huh? But at the moment it's quite nice because it acts as a bit of a coffee bar. So if we head over to the helm station, you see there's a lovely chunky helm seat here, a little bit of storage underneath, which gives access to the trips. And you'll also see down here we have a little floating stool, so this stool can be moved around this side if you want, or that side, depending on what you're doing. There's more storage underneath there, and the astute view will have spotted the Webasto warm air heating system. So as I was, helm station, so lovely big seat here, plenty of room there for two. Nice little footstool down there, footrest down there. Bow and the stern thruster that we looked at in that lazarette. So she's mid-engine, so effectively the engine is down there, and she's a Volvo Penta D4-300, I seem to remember. So that's Volvo Penta D4 series, 300 horsepower, and max offshore speed, that's going to give you around about 19 knots, and the low teens are 12, 13, 14 as a cruising speed. Obviously that's the offshore version. If you're going for the river version, you would have a smaller engine and that would have lower speeds. So Fusion stereo, Garmin plotter, which is obviously going to integrate to that Garmin radar we looked at outside, autopilot over there, usual selection of Carling switches and analog engine displays, binnacle compass, really great view forwards, and I say you could, if you wanted to, I think, can you? He says, stand with your head through the sunroof, there you go, and look out the top if you want to. Now, going back to that customization, there's a couple of other options you can choose. So at the moment we have galley down. So down here we have a very, very capable, very practical galley, which we'll look at in a moment. But you can take that entire area here and make that a cabin. So it becomes a 2-cabin boat as opposed to a 1-cabin open boat as it is. And then you can move the galley in a sideboard formation across the back there. So that is owner choice depending on what you want if you're buying it. So back to the galley, down here, very, very practical, Korean style worktops, a couple of very decent size stainless sinks, lovely mixer tap here, just put that back, Dometic gas oven and grill, isotherm fridge in there, and very nice to see 3-burner gas hob. I think this is a little rubbish bin, yeah, little rubbish bin, or bread bin actually we use ours for down there, and then more storage behind this beautiful, very nicely done woodwork, and then there's a combi Bosch microwave grill over there. So say that's the galley down. It can be a cabin if you want it to be. They then effectively would all share this single heads, although it is on a Jack and Jill. So there is another door in there which takes you into the 4-cabin. So vacuum flush loo, again the same matching Korean style worktop, little porcelain sink, mixer tap, bit of storage behind us, mirror on the wall, opening ventilation, and then a very, very decent size, actually, surprisingly decent size, shower in there with a handle and a rainwater shower head, which is rather nice. Close that back off. So I say that is the single heads on board, but as I mentioned, it does have access from the 4-cabin. So it's a 4-cabin, storage under the bed, centerline berth, lots of light coming into those 2 deck hatches we have above us, easy access to both sides of the bed, and then lots and lots of storage in the form of cupboards on both sides, extra lighting in the deck head there, another wardrobe over there, and then here is access to that, through that Jack and Jill door, to that heads we have just looked at. Pretty impressive, beautifully finished, and I do like that carpet, I must admit. So let's have a quick turn around the decks before we finish off. And so unfortunately we can't look at the engine bay because it is very much mid-engine and set up for boat show. So as soon as you come out here, lovely grab rail here, that follows another grab rail, nice wide side decks and an outboard rail as well. And then up the top here you can see those 2 sunroofs opened, and again that radar arch behind us. Plenty of room on the foredeck here if you want to sunbathe. There are those 2 deck hatches we looked at externally, and then right the way forward we have a little, in fact a little beautiful stainless steel anchor switches to motor the anchor up and down, and then in here we have our little anchor locker. Very practical. Really, really lovely boat, and that's the view looking back. Just look at that, it's not often you see wiper motors mounted at the top as opposed to the bottom. Don't know why they do that, I'm sure there's a reason, but nice big moulded screen. So there you go. So thank you very much to Val Wyatt and the guys at Val Wyatt for letting us have a look around. Do hope you've enjoyed the tour. Do please like and subscribe. It really helps us on the channel. We look forward to seeing you next time round. And in the meantime, have a look at some of these other videos we have on the channel, as we now have well over 300. Thank you very much. See you next time round.